What's up, guys? We are doing a little night recording this week because I'm not going to have time to film the video tomorrow before the game. So, this is how dedicated I am. I stayed up a little late, filmed the video. All right, let's do it. Worst matchup is Greg versus Will. Low scoring and boring. Not good. It was like 109 to 105 or something. Super lame. Best matchup was Sam versus Doug. Super close, high scoring match coming down to Monday Night Football. Don't know if you guys watched or were paying attention, but it was an insanely close game, and Doug almost lost, but he was able to pull it out. Worst injury luck, we're going to go with Greg. There is a few, this one really challenged me because it's like, what's worse? Greg losing or having Debo out for the week and then Andrews getting hurt mid-game, or is Will losing Bateman, you know, where Bateman only got him, Bateman got him 0 points. Is that worse? I don't know. I'm going to say that Greg being without Debo and then getting a hurt Andrews halfway through the game is a little worse than the Bateman thing. But, it's arguable. Most unlucky will be Will. In reality, it was probably Sam, but I'm not going to give it to Sam because I don't believe you can win most unlucky when you don't actually play the game. That just seems a little ridiculous. So I'm giving it to Will because he barely lost. And like we said, he had that Bateman injury that gave him a donut where if he would have gotten like one catch, he probably would have beaten Greg, but now he got injured. So luckiest, we'll go with Greg. Even though he had that Debo injury, he still won with 109 against Will, who had a donut. So that is always insanely lucky. Dumbest move was Hunter for starting Traquan Smith. Not a ton of dumb things. Hunter actually even texted me this week telling me to give him the dumbest move for the Traquan Smith start. So, I'm a man of the people. I please. I aim to please. So there you go. Not too many other dumb things going on, though. Smartest move was me by picking up and playing Dante Foreman. It was not a foregone conclusion that I should play him against actually a pretty good run D, but I did, and it was smart, so I roll with it. But that being said, not a ton of really very interesting smart moves done either this week. So best free agent move was me, Dante Foreman. You guys already know this is going to be a little video, largely, giving myself props because I did pop off this week. But that was the best free agent move. There's no doubt about it. Most annoying player. This one was tough. Because there wasn't too much annoying stuff going on. I mean, you guys were all popping off on Logan. I thought that was all pretty annoying, but I think Connor probably took the cake for just how disgusted he was at the trade. He also was very disgusted about the Calvin Ridley trade, which fair. Okay, I guess. I don't know much about it, but just for all the disgust and anger he was bringing this week. He was also spreading misinformation. He said Leonard Fournette was a RB3 when Leonard Fournette is the RB8 on the season. He said that Curtis Samuel's a bye week fill-in and he's like wide receiver 22 or something. He said that it was a bad or it was not good trading Matt Ryan when clearly Matt Ryan's washed. Julio's washed. So just Connor, he wasn't super annoying, but there was some stuff this week that we're keeping our eye on. So stock falling is Logan. This is probably the last week I'll be able to give him stock falling because his stock's been falling for a while. But 4 losses in a row and he lost Jamar Chase, so that's got to be falling. Mine is rising. I went from the third lowest points to like kind of pretty high. I'm like 50 less points than Greg at this point, and I've had 4 wins in a row. It's funny, everyone, especially Greg, was roasting me like, "Oh, you have the third lowest points." Oh, well, look what happens in 1 week, Greg. It's pretty crazy how just 1 week can change a lot. So anyway, Greg's annoying as well. Best player was me. I mean, I easily scored the most points this year. I think the next one was 170 something, 175. I put 194. So I looked into that. So that's got to be me. Worst player, Logan, scored the least amount of points that we've had this year. I originally scored like in the 70s and Logan scored in the 60s. So Logan's got to get worst player for that. I mean, that is what it is. I had that dog in me put up the most points in the league against a juggernaut. I mean, who's going to argue that I didn't have that dog in me? And Camacho looked unbeatable, and then I just came in and slapped him around. All right, here's our updated rankings. Whatever, nothing too crazy. I think Connor gets his second most annoying. I get my second best player. Is what it is, boys. Weekly rankings. We do have Camacho going from a 16 to a 15, but still staying at 1. Greg goes, all the way down to 5, but really only drops 1 point. So keep this in mind, guys. 15, 14, there's not a ton of difference between Connor and Doug down here, but there's a 2-point difference. I mean, so don't be getting all, I'm not that much worse than Connor. I mean, yeah, it's close. It's a very close league, okay? But we got Camacho. Connor is going up from 4 to 2. I guess I went from 5 to 3, which is totally reasonable after a big week. Greg, not to mention the Devontae Adams trade. I'm taking that into account for myself. Yeah, here's what we got. Will at 9. Will went from 6 to 9. Logan went from 7 to 10. That's understandable after a bad week, and there we go. Hey, look, Ashton. Shout out Ashton going from 6 to 7. All right, next week's worst matchup is Dylan versus Ash. Next week's best is me versus Greg. We have the same record. We're about 30 or 50 something points apart from each other. OGs, me and Greg. New trade. We'll see if my team is actually good and can hold up against one of the best. I predict that Greg will beat me, though, unfortunately, breaking my streak. I do have okay, season segments. We got Copium, boys. So Greg, for using so much Copium that he's getting amnesia, 2 lines of Copium per day. He basically denies everything that I say in this video. Every time I talk about him, he's like, I never said that. That is what we call a copium overdose, ladies and gentlemen. It's when you don't even remember what you were doing when you were on all that copium. Greg, for denying Gabe Davis is ugly. 2 copium dabs. He did that. Gabe Davis is ugly. Greg, for saying Raheem Mostert is a slightly smaller Derrick Henry. 3 copium dabs. He said that. Logan, for inevitably blaming me for his team not being good after this trade. It doesn't matter what. Logan could go on a 5-game winning streak and then lose 1 game, 6 weeks from now, and blame. He's going to end up blaming me for that. I'm just telling you guys right now. So, 1 injection of copium. Ashton, for defending the Hilliard play last week again. 1 line of copium. I heard Ash was defending it. Khan, for Matt Ryan copium. 3 pills of copium. Khan, for defending his trade with me last year when he traded Galladay, or he traded Pittman and Amon-Ra for Galladay and Tim Patrick, and he defended it. And he even went so far as to claim it happened in week 2 when it happened week 7. That's 3 injections of copium. Sam, for blaming Hunter for not winning the league last year. 2 copium drinks. Apparently, I wasn't there. Apparently, Sam was in town to see Hunter's brother, and he blamed Hunter for not changing the league settings last year so that he would be playing his round 1 playoff matchup without a Jonathan Taylor bye. Basically, Sam had Jonathan Taylor last year. Week one of the playoffs, Jonathan Taylor had a bye. And Hunter probably should have fixed that, but he didn't, because, the dictators of this league, like Doug, don't think you can ever change anything ever in the league. So yeah, Sam ended up losing because Jonathan Taylor was on a bye and he thought that was Hunter's fault. Reality, Sam seemed probably not good enough to win it all. Couldn't have beat me. And honestly, Sam, if you really thought that was going to screw you, and you really thought that Hunter should change it, you probably should have said something in the chat. Anyway, copium leader was Connor, just because the defending his trade was an insane amount of copium. That was such a bad trade. And then the Matt Ryan stuff, copium for him. So anyway, a lot of dabs. You guys never leave me without dabs. Doug, for imagining he actually saw Sam in real life. 33 dabs. Doug was the one who told me that story I just said about Sam, which we all know is probably just Doug's imagination because Sam doesn't exist. So Doug was probably pretty dabbed out. Doug for assigning dabs. Doug was assigning dabs again this week, everybody, on the video, Yeah, 10 dabs. You can't do that, Doug. You're not, no. Calm for having a Colts Matt Ryan picture as his background on his phone. I saw Connor's phone this weekend, and in the background, his phone background was a picture of Matt Ryan on the Colts. 6 dabs per day. Calm for saying Fournette is an RB3, 15 dabs. Calm for saying RBs are more interchangeable than wide receivers, 3 dabs. I don't even know what the argument is there. There's way more good wide receivers than good RBs. RBs are much harder to come by, obviously. Calm for saying that his last year trade was a week 2 trade when it was a week 7 trade, 5 dabs. It's really more copium, but whatever. Calm for defending the last year's trade. We covered that, 10 dabs. Calm for thinking the Cup trade was a fleecing by Alec last year. Last year, everybody probably knows I fleeced Alec for Cooper Kupp, and Connor was one of the ones who thought that I got fleeced. And he was making fun of me, being like, that was a terrible trade, when in reality it was an insanely good trade that won me the league. 30 dabs. Logan for saying that my roster is not that much better than his. 5 dabs. Logan for changing my Overwatch settings. 5 dabs. Logan, I asked Logan to crank out some quick play matches for me in Overwatch. Probably play like 4 games. He changed my settings, changed my sensitivity, changed how one of my characters is played, like the buttons, and I couldn't figure out how to change it back. It's like, what the heck? That's not how you do it. It's like if I asked him to back out my car, would he like change out my radio stations and mess with my seat? Like, I just want you to back up my car, bro. Anyway. Logan for looking at what the Jackals were saying in the chat. 3 dabs. I told him after the trade, I was like, dude, don't listen to them. They're all idiots. They thought they were all roasting me last year for the Cooper Kupp trade. And he looked and he got mad, of course. 3 dabs. Logan for not responding to Greg. you gotta give Logan 8 dabs for that. That is something. Logan texted or Greg texted Logan the night before the trade with me, and him went down asking him what he wanted for Adams. It's like, when you're making a trade, you got to shop around a little bit, see what's out there. I don't think Logan could have gotten much of a better offer than mine, but he should have texted Greg back, no doubt. Hunter for changing his picture after a win, 11 dabs. Everybody knows that you don't change your picture unless you lose and or you really need to change the scenery. Hunter won and changed his picture, and then I'm pretty sure he lost this week. So that's just dabs, rookie mistake. I haven't changed my picture in the last 3 years because I keep winning championship. Hunter for keeping his car unlocked with his keys in them. 20 dabs. For those of you who don't know, Hunter leaves his car unlocked with his keys in it. So if anybody's looking for a free car, hit him up. He lives in like Ivy Walk. Just go by his house, take his car, free car. 20 dabs. Greg for saying Gabe Davis isn't ugly and then admitting to Tyler that he is ugly. Tyler actually texted me saying that Greg told him not to tell me. Well, okay, so Greg and Tyler were watching the game. Greg said, wow, Gabe Davis is so ugly, but don't tell Cameron that because he'll roast me. And then Tyler texted me that, so now I'm roasting him. So 20 dabs. Come on, Greg. Be a man. Greg for saying, I already said that. Alec for getting the Weeknd tattoo. Alec got a tattoo on his forearm this week of the singer/rapper The Weeknd, and 5 dabs. Will for not taking the Camacho trade, 10 dabs. Come on, Will. The trade was Derrick Henry for A.J. Brown and ETN, and A.J. Brown was like the second highest playing score this week, and ETN put up 25, and Will should have taken it. Will for thinking they made the Mercedes-Benz specifically for the Atlanta United. Will defended himself last week because when he asked me, oh, well, where do the Falcons play? Or where are you going to the game? He was like, well, I thought they made the Mercedes-Benz only for the Atlanta United to play. I was like, what? Anyway, 10 dabs. It really should be more than that. He's getting off easy, isn't he, Doug? Bakan leads the league with 54 dabs this week. The RBs thing, RB3 for Fournette, the Matt Ryan Colts background on his phone. Big time dabs. I'm getting tired. All right, so Alex, 70%. I'm not going to do this too much. Dill stays at 75. Sam actually moves to 95%, because Doug, in his imagination, when he apparently saw Sam, apparently Sam said that he watches my videos, but I don't believe it for a second. Camacho 60%. I bumped Camacho up because like the second that trade went through, Camacho's like, well, I'm trading my whole team, and he wants to. Camacho's like looking for any reason to quit the league. I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. I thought that Camacho had the worst team 2 years in a row. I put him last in my rankings, preseason rankings, 2 years in a row, and both years he's been one of the better teams. With for hit with Sam, I gotta stop even making these. I mean, whiff Dylan Rogers. I thought Dylan would be a whiff, by the way. Anyway, my lack of the week is that Sam commits another felony. We all know how much he likes to do those, and he's not, even going to defend himself because he can't. Let's do a quick TikTok because I actually thought this one was pretty good. I can hear Doug outside. Outside my room. It's either Doug or Dylan. I don't know. This is a little Halloween theme. A little Halloween theme action.
I studied all summer for my fantasy football draft. I got the number 1 overall pick. Give me Jonathan Taylor. In the second round, Javonte Williams. The sky's the limit for this guy. Third round, I'm not going to miss out on a generational talent. So give me Kyle Pitts because this guy is a star in this offense. Pick the next best guy on the list. This year's Cooper Kupp. To the moon for Allen Robinson. In the fifth round, alpha now, number 1 on his team. Give me Darnell Mooney. In the sixth round, of course, I'm going to take Michael Thomas. In the seventh round, one of my favorite players from last year, Elijah Moore. This guy's going to be my flex every week. Eighth round, give me Cordell Patterson all day. I need a quarterback now, so give me Trey Lance as my quarterback 1. This team's going to win me a championship. And let's go with Julio Jones, with Tom Brady at his quarterback. I love the guy. My handcuff here, Elvin Gordon.
For some reason, this reminds me of
season. This team can't lose. Honest, the last round of the draft, Kenny Galladay's going to help me win the whole goddamn thing. All right.
John loves Galladay.
I studied all summer.
It's pretty funny. Nothing crazy though. All right, let's get to where we're going here. Let's finish this out. All right, let's go. Most likely to cheat on their significant other, Alec, obviously. Hunter, pretty easy second. Dylan, he might be out there, but Dylan. Camacho, just kind of slimy. Camacho conniving. Logan just couldn't help himself. He's got to get that number up. Khan, I could see it. Doug, I could see him being kind of seduced to the dark side. Ash, yeah, guy you wouldn't expect. Will's pretty good, but maybe. Greg, I don't think so. Greg, no tolerance for that type of stuff. Me, obviously no chance, and Sam doesn't exist, so there you go. Best dancers, I'm going to give it to Alec, number 1, because he goes to the Latina clubs a lot. Ashton, I feel like, went through a breakdancing phase and probably knows a little moves. Camacho, I feel like low-key. Me, I got, but really I'm bad, so everyone below me is bad. Everybody above me could maybe be a little okay. Logan's no stranger to the dance clubs. Khan, he's got time. He practices, I bet. Will is lanky. He kind of could move. Greg, I feel like, Doug, maybe. Hunter, I feel like Doug would be bad in like a normal way. I feel like Hunter would be bad in like a really bad, funny way, though. I guess I put myself in there twice, so I don't know who I'm missing. Sam. Who am I missing? $1 to who can figure out who I'm missing. Dylan. Am I missing Dylan? Missing Dylan. Well, Dylan should be there anyway. So there you go, Dylan. Order of triathlon. So for those of you who don't know, you do swimming, running, and bike riding and triathlon. Will, it's got good stamina. Greg, I think, has the heart for it. Hunter, not good stamina, but he's quick, and I've seen him swim pretty far in New York, so I'll give it to him. I think me next. I'm in okay shape. Logan, I just don't think Logan's got the stamina. Doug, Ashton, which is way too high. Man, I put people in here again. Did I skip Dylan twice? All right, we'll put Dylan here below Ashton for sure, but above Alec. Alec has the potential to be up higher, but he just doesn't have the drive, the motivation. Khan, Camacho, Sam. Okay, so I was getting roasted a little bit about my spelling this week, so I put in things I care about more than spelling, and most of them's just roasting you guys. But yeah, no particular order. I care more about setting my lineup, Sam. I care more about watching the football games, being in good standing with the fantasy gods. That's Dylan right there. These two. Locking my car. I care way more about locking my car than spelling. Having short hair. I think we know what we're talking about there. My Overwatch settings. Going to the gym. That's pretty much all of you besides me, Logan, and Dylan. Having enough time for fantasy sports. Like not riding Matt Allen. I care way more about spelling than not riding Matt Allen. Exposing Gabe Davis. Eating my spaghetti cooked. I kind of enjoy that. I care about that. And then existing, Sam. I care more about existing than spelling. So there you go, guys. By the way, whatever I said about Greg saying something about Raheem Mostert and Derrick Henry, I made that up because I knew Greg would watch the rest of those videos super upset. So there you go. Let's ride, guys. I'll release the video. See you.